3. Okay, Mads. So, tell me all about the fish files.
So far I don't know too much. It's just booting up here. But of course, something's going on with that fish, isn't it? And it's gone.
Yeah.
There we
Okay, that's
are.
kind of weird. Those black space. I wonder if that was just the emulator, or if it would have been like that on the original hardware.
Yeah, I was wondering that as well. I'm guessing it wouldn't be, but actually, listening to the Retro Games Squad recently, I heard that on the Game Boy, the developers would sometimes play with the fact that the pixels would take some time to wash out, so that would give them almost a transparency effect. So these flickerings on the emulator could have been just scenes that were sharp and then would fade out, seemingly.
That's possible.
It would
Yeah.
have given you not a flicker, but a more of a fading effect on the real hardware.
True.
So this is a point-and-click adventure, and my fish has disappeared. I'm this guy. I actually don't know what he's called, but I kind of like the controls. You've only got the A and B button, of course, on the Game Boy
Yeah.
Color, and the Start button that I'm using as well. But they have these little markers to highlight what you're interacting with, and then there's a pick up or use thing and a look at, so he'll describe it on the A and B button. So that
Okay.
actually works quite well. And of course,
So
if you
now, oh,
yeah.
sorry. So you're moving the character around, and then stuff highlights as you get close to
So
it.
I've got the direct control. Think like Grim Fandango. I've got direct control over the little guy there, just moving him with the D-pad, and then whenever he moves close to something, it'll be highlighted with that that little triangle that's jumping around. That this is
Hmm.
what you're interacting with, and then you can either look at or interact with, which also would mean pick up, for example, if you need to pick something up. So I need to figure out who took my fish. But this is just me looking at the inventory as well. Of course, I can go there and I've got some ink and the fishbowl. So initially, I couldn't figure out why he didn't want to leave his room, but you need to pick up that thing that I forget what is, and now he wants to leave the room.
Okay. Well, yeah, he walked off the scene and threw it back. So, okay, well, who is the Nazi?
I've got no idea, but I'm called Dante. It seems.
Uh,
Mm. So the music though is
wow.
kind of grating. That same little tune would just be going over and over, and it feels as if it's a 12-second loop. So kind
Oh.
of drove me crazy.
So,
He's lost his fish as well, I think.
oh, okay.
So I need to look for all the fish, all the little fishes.
Wow, this is weird. I mean, the art style, we were just talking on the episode about Day of the Tentacle. The art style is quite interesting. It
Yeah,
it feels very cartoony, uh, but also a little washed out. I'm not sure if this is just because of the palette on the Game Boy Color
it
or
would be the Game Boy Color's game color palette, which was a bit washed out. At least my Game Boy Colors. Um, but I'd really like to see this. I didn't have the original, of course, for this game, so I've only played on an emulator. But actually, this intrigued me enough so that I've just went on Amazon and bought myself a flash card for the Game Boy that works for the
oh
Game Boy and Game Boy Color. So I'm going to be playing this on real hardware really soon.
oh, very cool. You have to give us the follow up review then.
Yeah, will do.
Yeah, this was interesting because I only knew of one other point and click adventure for the Game Boy Color, and that was a Scooby Doo game,
Oh yeah.
which is actually quite good. I've played through it.
Okay.
It feels like a real episode with the group splitting up, and you can jump back and forth between the two
Yeah.
parts of the group. So that was cool. But wow, this is really playing with every bad European stereotype. Let me guess, this guy is Italian. He looks like Mussolini.
Could be.
So we had the German Nazi upstairs, and now we've got 9. Oh no, okay. There's another German.
Could be.
Okay.
Only let women pass here, so I can't go into the girls' dormitories, I guess.
Aha.
So what you're watching there when it says 1, 2, 3, that's my
Yeah.
dialogue options, of course.
Okay. I was wondering about that.
It doesn't have a lot of screen real estate, so you can't show multiple options at the same time.
Makes sense.
But I like the graphical style. As you said, it's impressive how much they did with so few pixels. I forget what the resolution of the Game Boy is, but it's something like 160 by 120 or something like that. It's
Yeah,
ridiculously small.
exactly. But I mean, when you think about it, Day of the Tentacle was standard VGA,
Yep,
which was
true.
320 by 240, and
Yeah.
when you consider that at least a third of the real estate on the screen is eaten up by the options underneath,
Yeah.
there's not much more to those sprites either than here.
No, that's true.
But yeah, it's very impressive how they're using the shading and everything, that scanned art look. I just sometimes wish your character's head had a more defined palette around it to really make it not meld into the background sometimes.
Yeah, well, they've gone for the choice of not having the black borders that you often have when you have such small sprites, just to make it a bit more expressive, I guess, because that would cost a lot of pixels to have a black border all the way around.
True.
So the supposedly flowers, for example, that was hard to see.
Yeah, I was about to say, some of these choices are a little weird. I didn't look up anything about the company that made this, but yeah, I don't think it had a U.S. release. This looks like a European only release.
Okay.
Which, I mean, obviously the art style is pure Day of the Tentacle. I mean, the weird curved lines on the doors and stuff.
Yeah.
They're definitely going for that. And Day of the Tentacle was always more a much bigger hit in Europe than it was in the States.
Yeah, all of the LucasArts adventures weren't they?
Oh yeah. LucasArts,
especially Germany.
Oh yeah, they were huge over here. When I talked to I'm blanking on his name. He was one of the producers over at LucasArts. That was one of the huge things, was that the German market basically kept the lights on for quite a while.
Yeah, they were huge in Denmark as well, at least among all of my friends. We loved the LucasArts games.
I mean, these were non-console markets, so
yeah,
it definitely helped that we were used to that type of gaming. So, give me your opinion of the dialogue and so forth from the time that you're playing it.
So it was. I like to say I need more than 7-8 minutes to actually get into a game like this, because it was completely serviceable. Some of it was good fun, but nothing ground shaking at all. But it made me want to see what's actually going on in this game. So as I said, I bought this flash card. I'm going to be playing this through on the original hardware instead. Finding the cartridge is hard. I had to go at that as well. But
oh really?
Yeah.
Did you find anything available, or?
I think I found one. I forget what the price was because it was so high. I just laughed and skipped it. Flash card is really cheap for a Game Boy. So
how much did you pay for that?
I end up paying 24, 25 euros, maybe 30.
Wow,
I
that's
forget
it?
right now. Shipped 30 shipped, I think it was maybe.
Just for a Game Boy Color, or does it also do?
No, it does Game Boy and Game Boy Color. So yeah.
Nice.
It's just I've got the flash card for the Game Boy Advance as well, and this was the same brand, just EZ Flash. It's a cheap flash card. You can, of course, you can buy those like expensive or what they call air drives, for example, which are much better, but these work as well. They're serviceable.
Cool. Okay, so that was our 7 minutes with the Fish Files. Let's head back to the episode.
Let's.